sentence you to life in confinement without parole.
That's f***ing horse shit. You do whatever the f*** you want.
Stop shutting my mic off, please.
Your Honor,
Why are they shutting my mic off?
because he's talking.
I'm the federal witness of the United States federal government. I demand some respect, you. All I did was trespass on property.
Ma'am, you got to create the community that you want to live in.
Yeah, that need the service of the interpreter. The corrections officer putting the headphone on the person now. Okay.
There is contact, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. What's your name, please? What is your name?
Marvin Leonel Bamaca Oror.
Malvin Leonel Bamaca Oroz.
Oror.
Oror.
So you're charged with the offense of battery by strangulation, domestic violence.
We do have a probable cause argument, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
This is a he said, she said case. There's no visible injuries. And further, my client claims that she actually attacked him and he acted in self-defense. There's nothing sufficient to hold him on a monetary bond.
State. Go ahead.
The victim testified in the affidavit that he squeezed her neck with his two hands and led her to call the police, and that he threatened to kill her family in Guatemala. Also that she was attempting to get him away from her. We would ask that the court find probable cause and set a reasonable bond.
Based on my review of the affidavit, I'm gonna find that there's sufficient probable cause for this charge. We set bond in the amount of $1,500, special condition that you have no contact with the victim. Oh, I forgot that. Oh yeah, the interpreter's interpreting. That's right. Have no contact with the victim in this case. I'll allow law enforcement to go back. Well, you to go back with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings one time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. How you doing?
See.
What's your name, please?
Nini Joanna Pineda.
Nini Joanna Pineda.
Okay. You're charged with the offense of resisting an officer without violence, bond is $500. You're also charged with the offense of theft, bond is set at $500 in that case also. That's all we have. Thank you, ma'am. I believe, Madam Interpreter, that's all we have for the interpreter at this point.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you as well.
I got a gentleman back behind there. What's your name, sir?
Jeremy Reynolds.
Okay. Mr. Reynolds, you're charged with grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. In one case, just give me a second. Let me look at this. Set bond in the amount of $1,000 in that case. Count. The next case you have is a failure to appear. Bond is set at no bond. Amen.
Gabriella Boyer.
You say it a little bit louder.
Gabriella Boyer.
Okay, thank you. You're charged with defense of trespass on property after warning? Yes, sir.
At this time, we enter a not guilty or enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor. The offer from the state is adjudication of guilt. Court costs 5 days Orange County jail with 2 days credit.
Why is the state making that kind of offer on this case? I'm just curious.
Yes, Your Honor. This defendant was picked up in August of this year for trespass and convicted. That's the offer based on the history.
How do you plead to the charge of trespass, man?
Contest.
No contest. No contest.
Okay, based on my review of the arrest affidavit, I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. Sentence you to credit for time, sir. I'm not gonna give you any additional jail time, and I impose any court costs. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Here you go, ma'am. You're getting released today. You're getting released today.
What's your name?
Bronson.
What's your first name?
Diamond.
We also have an offer in this case, Your Honor, adjudication of guilt, 7 days with 3 days credit and no return to the scene. Mr. Brenson does wish to take that offer.
Well, in there, another case too. Madam Clerk, is there
You on
something else here?
probation or anything like that? No.
He's out on bond on another case, right? Okay. So you're charged with trespass on property after warning. How do you plead to that charge?
I plead guilty, but I didn't do anything wrong. I was just walking. They just
Why
locked
are
me
you
up.
pleading guilty to it then?
I didn't do anything yet.
You don't have to take the offer if you don't want to. Mr.
Right, I
Brenson.
understand, but I'll take it. But I didn't do anything yet. Is what I'm saying. They even brought me here for no damn reason. I didn't
All
do
right,
anything
Mr.
yet.
Brenson, Mr. Brenson.
Well, I'm not taking a plea for somebody standing here telling me they ain't do nothing. I
understand, Your
figure
Honor.
all this stuff out. So,
Right.
I'll
I'm a walking
just
civilian.
hold up, buddy. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf based on what you're representing, sir.
Right.
Let me look at the bond amount here. I'm set bond in the amount of $100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold up, I got one more thing too, because it looks like, what clerk, Madam Clerk, you say on case number 2022 CF. He's out on bond. I'm not gonna take any action with that case, I'll leave that.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ask me the question.
Yeah, got what I said.
You're being given a $100 bond on the trespass, and no, the bond's not being revoked on your other case, all right? You're not resolving your case.
I'm not talking about home.
You're not going home. You'll be held on a $100 bond. That's that you did not commit this, and that you did not want to plead guilty. Here for a trespass.
But I didn't. What I'm trying to say is I'm not complaining.
You're not. You didn't get arrested for not complaining. You got arrested for trespass when you were told to leave.
What's your name, please?
Sonya Jimenez.
Okay. See here. Why is it, I'm trying to figure out, why do we have this like this? With reset? Okay, all right, that was throwing me off. There's a reset from yesterday, I see, that's what kind of throwing me off a little bit. Just give me just a second.
Might not give you a bond on that one.
Yeah. One case, you charge of possession of cocaine, bond set at $1,000. Also possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, bond set at $150. And then we have a second case. Just give me just a second here. I don't understand why this is like this. I have a violation of community control. That's what I see.
Yes, sir.
And bond is no bond is to that. I'm not taking any action on in case she's out on bond. It's a violation of community control. All right, thank you.
So no bond on the VOCC, but you got bond on the other ones, all right? Get your attorney to file a
First
bond.
page be missing.
All right, you take that. Mr. Staffine?
Okay. All right, okay. What's your name, please?
Stephanie.
You're charged with exposure to sexual organs, bond set at $500.
Here's your bond, $500. You also have some possible failure to appear warrants. They may be held on.
What's your name, sir?
Zatzer, Calvin Zatzer.
Okay.
Good morning,
Counsel.
Your Honor. Simon Wiseman on behalf of Mr. Zard.
Okay, now I see a young lady at the podium up here. So, state you want to take testimony from this person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give here today will be the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
What's your name, please?
Maria Mann.
Okay. You may proceed.
Yes, good morning. Are you the victim in this case?
Yes.
And what, are you seeking contact with Mr. Zad?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
And if something were to happen again, would you be willing and able to call 911?
Yes.
No further questions from the state?
Well, this is a violation of probation.
Yeah, so I'm not.
So a judge has already signed this as a violation. I don't take any action to change the bond at this point. That it has to be that judge.
Correct, Your Honor. I was requesting the court for a bond. The victim in this case would provide testimony, and I can proffer it, but she can provide it, that, in fact, it didn't happen the way it did in the underlying domestic violence charge, which is obviously the premise for the violation of probation, and hopefully that would weigh in the court's mind as to whether to grant a bond. Obviously, I understand if the court says, go back to the trial judge.
Yeah,
But-
I don't have anything. All I have is a warrant signed by another judge saying they put him at no bond on a VOP. And I know I didn't like judges to change my warrants when I signed them. So, you know, although I'm the old man on the block around here, most of these judges won't say nothing to me, but I still think that I need to send this in fairness back to the other judge and let him hear this.
I understand that, Judge. Just try my best.
Ain't no harm in asking. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
All right, okay.
All right, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who we got next?
What, sir? What's your name?
Hagan Michael.
Okay. And Mr. Akins, I guess you put your name on the record.
Good morning, Judge. Bryce Akins on behalf of Mr. Michael.
Okay, and I see there's a young lady over here at the podium over here. Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give here today will be the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
What's your name, please?
Anna Grace Michael.
State.
Good morning. Are you seeking to have contact with Mr. Michael?
Yes.
And what is your relationship to Mr. Michael?
He's my brother.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
And if something like this were to happen again, would you be willing and able to call 911?
Yes.
No further questions from the state at this time.
Okay.
Judge, I'd ask that my client be ROR'd on this. Reading the affidavit, it seems to appear that it's a mutual combat involved here and not that my client was the aggressor. So I'd ask he just be released on his own recognizance, especially based on the testimony that we just heard.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, we would just be asking for a reasonable bond. I can appreciate that this is siblings fighting, but based off of the affidavit and the allegation that it no longer was play fighting and became a real fight with the choking, we would just ask that a bond be put in place. Or does he qualify for PTR? Or released on PTR.
And Judge, according to this affidavit, none of the parties here contacted law enforcement. That was some other party that wasn't present during this. The principal parties that were present didn't contact law enforcement because this was, in essence, siblings engaged in mutual sibling rivalry. Judge,
Yeah. Hey, you gotta. I'm not gonna comment on this, but y'all gotta be careful with this kind of stuff. You see what happens. Regardless of what happens here, you in jail, and at no bond at that. I'm gonna set a bond of $100, a special condition you have no hostile contact. I don't know what's going on, but y'all need to settle this.
Sir.
All right.
What was that amount, Judge?
$100. With special condition, there's no hostile contact. That means no arguing or fighting. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
What's your name, please?
Tina Williams.
So you're charged with trespass on property after warning.
Yes.
We have a credit time served off her in her case, Your Honor.
How do you plead to the charge of trespass, man?
No contest.
No contest.
I'll accept your no contest plea. Withhold adjudication, since you the credit for time served, I'm not going to impose any court costs. Thank you. What's your name, please?
Darius Burgess.
You're charged with the offense of battery, domestic violence by strangulation. I see there's a person in the back. Can I get you to raise your right hand, please? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give here today will be the truth, so help you God, man.
Yes.
What is your name, please?
Margaret Simpson.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Margaret Simpson.
Okay, state.
Good morning. Are you seeking to have contact with Mr. Burgess?
No.
Are you in fear of Mr. Burgess?
Yes.
Okay. And do you two live together?
No.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you, ma'am.
State, defense have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. On the night in question last night, had you been consuming alcohol?
I couldn't understand that question, I missed it.
Had you been consuming alcohol, ma'am?
No, I was not. He was consuming the alcohol.
Were you physically
Well, hold on one
aggressive?
second.
with
You
Mr.
have an objection or something?
No, no, it's fine. It's done.
Were you physically aggressive with Mr. Burgess?
No. I went to go move my hair like this, and I guess he thought that I was going to hit him, but that was not what was happening.
But you did make a gesture that put Mr.
Like
Burgess
this.
in fear?
You see what I'm doing? That's what I did. And then he struck me by the back, not the front, and dragged me inside the house and then strangled me.
Since this morning is just for conditions of release, I would object to taking any further testimony on what happened last night. The victim's indicated she does not want contact with Mr. Burgess.
Well, but I still, that determines how much bond I said or whether I even decide to release him or not, so, okay. I'll overrule objection.
Do you and Mr. Burgess live together?
No.
He has a separate residence?
Yeah.
No further questions.
State, have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You have any testimony you want?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Burgess has denied everything per the police report. He does have a separate residence.
Testimony. I thought you were gonna put him, you said testimony.
Oh, no, I don't have any testimony from Mr. Burgess. My
I think you was
apologies.
testifying for him.
I have a PC argument.
All right, go ahead.
Or argument for ROR or PTR. It's clear he has his own residence. He has denied everything that happened in this case. We would just ask for a PTR or ROR, Your Honor.
He didn't qualify for PTR, Your Honor. Oh, my, he doesn't even qualify for that.
Okay, anything from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. The victim's here today. She is She has testified to what has been reported by police, and we would ask that the defendant be given a bond based off the schedule.
Yeah. I make bonds based on what I don't even know what the schedule is, to tell you the truth. I make bonds based off what I see the facts of each case may be. Sir, I'm going to set bond in this case in the amount of $2,500 with the special condition that you have absolutely no contact with the victim involved in this case. Now, no contact means let you sign that paper and let you listen to
Don't call her, don't talk to her. You got me?
I want an exhaustion.
Look, sir, listen to me. No contact means no phone contact, no letters, no having nobody else contact. I see there's a child in coma right now, and you can't have no contact. Okay? So you ain't have to tell me nothing. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. You got a $2,500 bond.
Thank you, ma'am. What's your name, sir?
Thomas Lee Jinks.
They got you charged with impersonating an officer and also battery domestic violence. I see somebody in the area. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give here today will be the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
What is your name, please?
Hannah LeBaron.
I couldn't quite hear you.
Hannah LeBaron.
Okay. State.
Good morning. Are you seeking contact with Mr. Jinks?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
And if something like this were to happen again, would you be willing and able to call 911?
Yes.
No further questions from the state.
Defense?
I have no further questions. I do have PC argument as to the impersonating an officer.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's clear from the police report that he does not actually state, "I am a police officer." He simply showed the officers a photo of him in uniform. He was previously a tribal security officer. But it's not clear that he established himself as a police officer to them. He was simply in possession of his former ID as a police officer. That does not mean he showed it to the officers and says, "I am a cop." There's not enough probable cause for him to be held on that based on that, Your Honor.
State?
State has no position.
Well, I'm not gonna find probable cause to this. It's a close call, because, you know, he showed him that ID for a purpose. He thought he was gonna get away with something, but he didn't, so I'm not gonna say he was impersonating the officer, but he wanted to let him know he was connected in some type of way, but I don't think it came to the point that it's enough of probable cause for that. So I find no probable cause for and I'll release my RRs to that charge as to the falsely impersonating an officer. To the battery, domestic violence, so I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,500 with the special condition that you have no hostile contact with the victim, but that means no arguing or fighting, sir. All right, thank you.
Is that 1,500, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you got a $1,500 bond in the ROR to impersonating an officer charge, all right?
So what?
So $1,500 bond. You got to go with the CO.
What's your name, sir?
Zachary Joseph.
Okay, sir, you charged with battery by strangulation and battery domestic violence. These were, you were picked up on a warrant that was found, probable cause was already found by me. I read the affidavit. Did you see the affidavit, counsel?
I did not. I just know he's got an out-of-state warrant, Your Honor.
I don't see nothing.
Oh, that's what
about
the
no
state
out-of-state
informed me.
Yes, Your Honor, it's listed on mine as an out-of-state warrant. I guess it's just a typo. It says out-of-state warrant, book is fugitive from justice.
I would like an opportunity to read the report, if possible.
All right, let's take a look at it. I signed this for myself. I didn't see nothing about being out of state about it. I actually read it. What you say now? Oh, so he does have a fade to it? No, I'm just saying. Oh, okay. Well, it said fade to it. What is this right here? Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Uh-huh. So it's a battery by strangulation, sir. Set bond in the amount of $1,500. And also the battery domestic violence, I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,000. The special conditions of each one of those bonds is that you have no contact with the victim involved in this case, sir.
No, that's what I'm saying. The only warrants I ever had in here is Allen County because of child support.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out, all right? The attorney will be in good hands, okay? You got a bond. Now you got to go with the CO, Mr. Joseph.
What's your name, please?
Jonathan Myatt.
Say that one more time.
Jonathan Myatt.
Sir, you're charged with defensive battery and also criminal mischief for $1,000 or more. As to the criminal mischief charge, I'm set bond in the amount of $1,000. To the battery charge, set bond in the amount of $500. A special condition, you have no contact with the victim involved in this case. Thank you. What's your name, please? What's your name?
Christian Piedra.
Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give here today will be the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
What's your name?
Cheyenne Beasley.
State.
Are you related to a Victoria Beasley?
That's my first name, Victoria.
Okay. Yes, Miss Beasley, are you seeking contract with Mr. Piedra?
Yes.
And are you afraid of him?
No.
If something like this were to happen again, would you be willing and able to call 911?
Yes.
No further questions from the state.
Nothing from defense.
As to the battery charge, I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,000. The special condition, you have no hostile contact with the victim involved in this case. As far as the battery on a law enforcement officer, bond set at $2,500. Resisting without violence, I'm gonna set bond at $150.
You got a bond? No. No hostile contact.
What's your name, sir? What's your name? Premier? Huh? I miss your name, sir. Say it.
Abed Premier, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I had a Willis Butler. Do we have him?
I have him next after Mr.
Oh, maybe I got him mixed up myself. That's okay. All right. So you're charged with aggravated assault with a firearm? Just give me just a second.
We do have probable cause argument, Your Honor.
Go ahead and make your argument.
It's clear from the police report that the alleged victims in this case were engaged in infidelity. This goes towards their bias against Mr. Premier. They may not be believable witnesses, and what they may be saying may be contrived in order to get Mr. Premier in some kind of trouble, at least as to the aggravated assaults.
State.
State appreciates defense's defense. Based off the affidavit, there is enough to charge Mr. Premier with aggravated assault with a firearm. It is stated that he pulled a gun on the victim while she was lying in bed. And that's the position that the state has.
Set bond in amount, five probable cause, and set bond in the amount of $1,000. Special condition that you possess no firearms and have no contact with the victim involved in this case, sir. If you all live together, you can go back one time with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your name, please?
Willis Butler.
So you're charged with battery domestic violence. Just give me just a moment.
We do have a PC argument, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
This was clear mutual combat. Both were arrested. The officer was unable to make a determination as to who was the aggressor on the scene. We would request an ROR on both Ms. Butler's and Ms. Platt's case. It's coming up in 2. If the officer couldn't make a decision as to who was the aggressor here, there's no clear probable cause to detain anyone.
State.
The state would be asking that, can you order a no contact with an ROR?
I never done it before,
I mean, I'm guessing you could.
but I guess I'm at the probable cause stage now.
Yeah, you could do whatever you wanted.
Not necessarily now.
The state would ask that if probable cause is not found, that they have no contact. It is clear, while the initial aggressor is unclear, it is clear that there was an incident and that there was clearly some violence involved. So we would be asking for bonds for both, but if no probable cause is found, then we would ask that they not have any contact with each other.
Defense?
We would request no hostile contact if you were considering an IOR, Your Honor. She rents a room for Mr. Butler. This is Ms. Platt, Your Honor. She's the.
Well, I want to hear her say it. What's your name?
My name is Cassandra Platt.
Okay. Counsel, now what were you getting ready to say?
I was going to make the same argument as Mr. Butler's case. She's the other half of that case. And we request the same, the ROI with no hostile contact.
State.
State agrees.
I release your ROR, find no probable cause for the arrest. And, with special condition, you have no hostile contact.
Mr. Butler.
Yes, sir.
All right. Charita?
What's your name, please?
Anil Ramcharita.
Charge of battery, domestic violence. Find this probable cause for the arrest in this case. Set bond in the amount of $1,000 with the special condition that you have no contact with the victim. You'll be allowed to go back one time to retrieve any belongings with law enforcement.
Randall?
What's your name?
Anthony Randall.
You're charged with stalking, domestic violence, and resisting an officer without violence. Just give me just a moment. I previously read the stock. I'm going to find probable cause for the arrest in both cases, both counts rather. Let's see the stalking. I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,000. Special condition, you have no contact with the victim involved in this case. Resisting officer without violence, I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,000.
I'll reach out to him then.
What's your name, please? What is your name, please?
Naja Taylor.
Do you have a PC argument, Your Honor?
Okay. Can I get you to raise your right hand, please? You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give here today will be the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
What's your name, please?
Javondria Galloway.
Okay, state.
Good morning. Are you seeking contact with Miss Taylor?
Yes.
Are you
I
afraid?
couldn't hear what you said, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you afraid of Miss Taylor?
No.
And if something like this were to happen again, would you be willing and able to call 911?
Yes.
No further questions from the state.
In the affidavit, the alleged victim repeatedly claims that Ms. Taylor had permission to strike him and that he does not wish to press charges of any way or shape or form in this case. We request that she be ROI'd. I don't believe that this is the alleged victim.
You're not the victim, right?
No, I'm her mom.
Okay, that's what was confusing me. Cause
That's my mistake.
all right. Oh. Set bond in the amount of $1,000. Special condition that you have no contact with the victim. Regardless of what's said in here, I'm not going to make them have contact with each other. So there's no contact with the victim involved in this case. Thank you. What's your name, please?
Blue Squirrel.
Do you have a PC argument, Your Honor?
Okay, one second here. Let me get to him. You're picked up on arrest warrant for possession of concealed weapon by a convicted felon. Bond was set at $2,500. So I guess that's the one you had the argument on, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
He's being charged with a concealed weapon. It was a hatchet in this case. The officers very clearly saw the hatchet sitting in open and plain view inside the vehicle. It doesn't appear to be concealed in any way other than it was in the vehicle. While he was in possession of a weapon, apparently, it was not concealed. So it does not rise to the level of PC required for this charge.
State.
It's the state's position that as charged by law enforcement, it was concealed within the vehicle. We would ask for PC to be found.
I'm gonna find that there's not sufficient evidence for probable cause, even though the judge signed the warrant. And, I'll release him ROR. And as to these other charges, since I found no probable cause, I'm not gonna take any action as to those.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you get released on my case, or the new case, and if you're already bonded on the other cases, you'll be released on those as well. You lucky, Dick? Have a good one. Hey, take the paperwork.
What's your name, sir?
Rain.
Yeah, you know I know you, don't you? How you doing, man?
Well, just lost my mother.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you're here for a failure to appear.
Got a bunch of nonsense going on in my home. I fell asleep in my car at the Wawa, and so I missed the court date. And I called him and told him that I'd come in.
You want to talk to that judge about that one, but I can't do nothing about that, so I'm gonna leave it at no bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your name, please? I can't hear you.
Heather Daughtry.
Okay, ma'am, you're charged with trafficking methamphetamine over 14 grams, $50,000 bond, and possession of controlled substance, bond set at $1,000. Thank you.
Don't say anything to anyone about your case, all right? Dave?
What's your name, sir? What's your
Larry
name?
Davis, Your Honor?
Mr. Davis, you're charged with possession of an MDMA, bond set at $1,000.
Mr. Davis?
What's your name, young man? So you're charged with possession of cocaine, bond set at $1,000, and driving with suspended license, bond set at $500. Thank you, sir. What's your name, please?
Friday.
And you're charged with offense of neglect of a child, bond set at $1,000. What's your name, please?
Robert Harris.
Can't hear you, bud.
Robert Harris.
Okay, Mr. Harris. You're charged with battery, with one prior battery. Bond set at $2,500. Special condition, you have no contact with the victim. You got picked up, well, when you got arrested on that charge, you out on bond in case number 2022 CF009277. You were ROR'd on possession of cocaine, battery, one prior offense, and fraud, and I don't know what this is, knowingly, intentionally possession of fraudulent identification. As to count one, I'm going to revoke your RRs to all three of the charges because you got a new law arrest.
Your Honor, they only filed on the possession of cocaine charge.
Or they only filed on the possession of cocaine? All right, thank you, ma'am. So I'll revoke the RR on the possession of cocaine, set bond at an amount of $1,000. Then we have another case that I see, 2022 CF 11268, and you have four counts on that case. Ma'am, they filed on all four
They
counts?
filed on all four, yes.
Pardon? I couldn't hear you, ma'am. What did you say?
Yes, they filed on all four.
Okay, thank you.
Listen to what the judge has to say.
I'm gonna revoke the bonds. You ROR'd on all four counts. I'm gonna revoke that ROR based on a new law arrest. As to count one, You set bond in the amount of $1,000. Count 2, $1,000. Count 3, $1,000, and count 4, $1,000. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Harris.
Your Honor, Ryan Herbert is outside medical.
What's the name?
Ryan Herbert is outside medical.
Okay, we can reset him for 48 hours. Okay. Make sure I don't set nothing on Thursday, on Friday when I come back, though. Okay. Whatever date that is. What's your name, young man?
Listen to the judge.
What's your name, sir?
Zarin Johnson.
Okay. You're charged with robbery with a firearm?
Yes, sir.
You picked up on a warrant that was signed by Judge Lattimore, I believe. I've reviewed the affidavit. I'm finding probable cause for the arrest. So I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $25,000. Special condition, you have no contact with the victim involved in this case and possess no firearms. That's the same too. Easter bonds, I'm not gonna take any action with this one. He was out on bond on a case of the similar nature, so I'm not gonna take any action since I increased the bond on this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your name, please? You picked up on a charge of possession of fentanyl, bond set at $1,000. Possession of methamphetamine, bond set at $150. Grand theft, third degree for motor vehicle, bond set at $150.
Does Ms. Ogle qualify for pretrial release?
He does.
Would you be willing to consider that, Your Honor?
Let me look at the affidavit. I'll release pretrial release at this time.
Your Honor, can pretrial release require random urinalysis?
Is that part of it? I think that's part of the program. I'll require random drug testing.
Thank you.
Ms. Ogle.
Any conditions?
That's the one, random drug testing.
Just random justice?
Yes, ma'am.
Almost?
What's your name, sir? You're charged with possession of cocaine, bond set at $1,000. In an open container, bond set at $250. You out on bond on a no valid driver's license charge. I'm not gonna take any action on that case.
Your Honor, Oscar Sayas Natel is medical.
Okay, we'll reset him for 48 hours.
Yes, sir.
What's your name, sir?
Sincere.
So you're charged with the offense of robbery with a firearm. I'm going to set bond in this case in the amount of $50,000. Special condition, you have no contact with the victim. Now return to the scene, possess no firearms. Count 2, you charged with possession of a weapon, $4,000 bond. Count 3, possession of ammunition, $4,000 bond. Count 4, carrying a concealed weapon, $2,500 bond. Count 5, assault with an intent to commit a felony, bond set at $2,500. Thank you, sir. What's your name, sir?
Smith John.
You're charged with offensive trafficking in fentanyl, 400 grams or more, bond set at $100,000. Count 2, possession of methamphetamine, bond set at $150. You out on bond, well, out in case number 2022 CF 008570. You were RR'd on that case. As to the charge of selling and delivery of fentanyl, I'm going to revoke the RR on all 4 counts. There's 4 counts here. As to the sale and delivery of fentanyl, set bond in the amount of $7,500. Sale and delivery of cocaine, $7,500. Possession of methamphetamine with intent to, sell, set bond at $4,000. And possession of alprazolam, bond set at $4,000. You also out on bond on case number
I'm
2000.
sorry, Your Honor. On that case, on 8570, there's 6 counts,
6 counts?
7 counts.
Okay.
It's the sell and delivery of fentanyl, sell and delivery of cocaine, possession of meth with intent, possession of alprazolam, unlawful use of two-way, possession of cannabis, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Okay. As to the unlawful use of two-way, I think that's the one I didn't cover. I'll set bond in the amount of $1,000. Possession of cannabis greater, less than 20 grams, $1,000. Possession of drug paraphernalia, bond set at $1,000. And then you out on bond in case number 2022-006113. You RR'd on 2 counts. Revoke that RR. It's to the possession of methamphetamine with intent. I'll set bond at $7,500. As to the possession of fentanyl, $1,000. Thank you, sir.
Too much math for me to do, but you got.
It was 7 on there.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11.
Yes, on the second case? Yes.
Sinclair?
What's your name, please?
Samantha Sinclair.
Yes, ma'am.
You're arrested on charge of possession of MDMA, bond set at $1,000. Count 2, resisting officer with violence, bond set at $500. It shows here that you out on bond in case number 2022 CF 008777. Shows 2 counts you out on bond on the charge of burglary of a dwelling. Well,
3.
3, burglary of a dwelling, battery, and then child abuse. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, as to the burglary of a dwelling, I'm revoking all the bonds because you got a new law arrest. On the burglary of a dwelling, I set a new bond in the amount of $5,000. The battery, $2,500. The child abuse, $5,000. Thank you, ma'am.
You have new bonds, so you have to repay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you, sir.
New bonds from your old case. So you can take this and go, Ms. St. Clair. Stover? No?
What's your name, please?
Woody Stover.
You're charged with offense of selling and delivery of fentanyl, bond set at $1,000. What's your name, please?
Ruben Troncoso.
You're arrested on charge of trafficking oxycodone greater than 14 grams or less than 28 grams. Set bond in the amount of $150,000. As to count 2, possession of cocaine with a weapon, bond set at $10,000.
Your Honor, we would like to make some PC arguments if possible.
Go ahead.
It's clear from the report that Mr. Troncoso did have a medical marijuana card, and it was clear he legally owned the medical marijuana. He was also not in the vehicle when the police searched it. There was another person, Miss Berkey Velez, who was present. We would argue that probable cause is more likely that she is the possessor of all these drugs, and that Mr. Troncoso was simply in possession of the vehicle and was not aware it was in the bag.
I read the affidavit in this case this morning. I'll find probable cause for the charge of trafficking in oxycodone. I've already set the bond amount at $150,000. The count 2, possession of cocaine with a weapon, I'm gonna leave it at $10,000. In possession of firearm in the commission of a felony, bond set at $10,000 also.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor.
Yes, correct.
Bond. Don't speak to anyone about anything. Make any outside calls that suggest your case. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see that. Williams?
What's your name, please? What's your name?
Garrett Williams.
You're charged with possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon. Set bond in the amount of $15,000. Possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams with a weapon. Bond set at $15,000. Possession of cannabis with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a park. Bond set at $10,000. You out on bond Your case number 2022 CF 012294. You're actually pretrial release on the following charges. I see a fleeing, attempting to elude the police, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, and possession of some type of cannabis. As these counts is the first count, the fleeing, I'm going to revoke the pretrial release as to these charges. The fleeing charge is set bond at $5,000. Possession of cannabis with intent to sell, deliver, are set at $10,000. And the possession charge are set at $5,000. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, then you got the new law, so you're looking at 50, 60,000 bond. Williams?
What's your name, please? So you're charged with the following offenses. First charge carjacking with a firearm. You set bond in the amount of $50,000. Special condition, you possess no firearm, not return to the scene, and have no contact with the victim. That'll be the same conditions as each one of these charges. Then you're charged with robbery with a firearm, armed robbery with a firearm, set bond at $50,000 with the same conditions. Attempting kidnapping with a firearm, set bond at $25,000 with the same condition. Resisting an officer without violence, $1,000 bond. Fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement in disregard for safety or injury or death, you set bond at $10,000. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good luck, Mr. Williams. Don't talk to anyone about anything in your case.
What's your name, sir?
Tari Baker.
Mr. Baker?
Sir.
You are charged with a failure to appear. Bond is no bonus to that case. You have a resisting officer with violence. Bond set at $250.
So I don't got no bond?
I just told you the bond amounts.
$250.
Well, I'm talking about for the.
Well, the one failure to appear, I didn't, yeah, you had no bond in that case.
So what I gotta get out of here to.
No.
I can't give you no advice, sir. What's your name, sir?
John Rosario.
What's your name?
John Rosario.
I don't have a report in this case, Your Honor.
Here you go. I don't know if the state has it. I had maybe I got him out of order. A Melvin Cruz. I know if that person bonded out or what. Okay.
They bonded.
What? Okay. What's your name again, sir?
Martin John Rosario.
Okay, so you got in charge of DUI, bond set at $500. Then count two, you charge of leaving the scene of a crash or accident, bond set at $100. And let me make sure I got everything. Got one more case here too. You refused to sign a citation, bond set at $250. Thank you, sir.
That's luck, sir.
Now, the other person I had was Antone Malone.
What's the MA number?
I don't know where that is.
He bonded.
Come on up, sir. What's your name?
Jose Sanchez.
You charged no valid driver's license? He qualifies for PTR, right?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, he doesn't? Oh, I saw some written on here, PTR. Oh, bond set at I'll set bond at $100 in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor. You got a $100 bond.
That's what somebody wrote on the affidavit. I thought it was there for that reason. What's your name, sir?
Jose Santos.
You charged with failure to appear. Bond set at $1,000. What's your name, sir?
to the microphone.
What's your name again?
Daniel Cruz.
David Cruz?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel, okay. So you're charged with resisting an officer without violence, bond set at $500. Open container, bond set at $100. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's your name, sir?
Mondale Gray.
We do have an offer, Your Honor. Adjudication of guilt, credit time, or credit, 5 days OCJ with credit time served for 2 days. No return to the scene, court costs.
So you pleading to the resisting too?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Resisting without violence on here too.
Yes, Your Honor, it would be concurrent with the trespass.
All right. What's your name again, sir?
Mondale Gray.
How do you plead to the charge of trespass on property after warning?
Guilty.
How do you plead to charge of resisting an officer without violence?
Guilty.
Accept your pleas.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Adjudicate your guilt on these two charges. Says you sentence you concurrently 5 days in Orange County Jail. Give you credit for 2 days, credit for time served. I'm not going to take any action to this case. He's out on bond on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No court costs.
You good to go?
Get it.
Good luck, Mr. Gray. Stay out of trouble. Ms. Lozano?
Yes, sir.
What's your name, ma'am?
What's your name?
Mariluz Lozama.
We do have an offer, Your Honor. Adjudication, credit time served, no return, court costs.
How do you plead to the charge of trespass, ma'am?
Yes, yes, sir.
It's either guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
Thank you, ma'am.
No contest.
Accept your no contest plea. Adjudicate your guilt, sentence you to credit for time served, and impose no court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Nazario?
What's your name, sir?
Luis Nazario Santos.
You're charged with offense of petty theft, bond set at $250.
You good to go? I think that's it. 250. You're good.
What's your name, sir? Charles?
Yes, sir.
So you charged with battery. You said bond at $250, special condition, have no contact with the victim. Thank you.
New law violation.
What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Bernard Harmon.
Harmon? So you got picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Bond is set at no bond. I was looking to see what county. I couldn't see. Lake County. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you.
Sims?
What's your name, sir?
Cody Sims.
Sim, you charged with violation of probation and then you bond is set at no bond at this time. Wait just a second, you may have 2 violations.
It's just one.
Pardon?
It's just one.
Okay, you got one violation, I'm sorry.
Probably get transferred to lead.
What's your name, sir?
Zamora.
Joseph?
Yes, sir.
We got an out-of-county warrant, bonds out of Broward County. This is no bond. I'm not gonna take any action as to the case he's out on bond.
No, I can't say for certain. Sorry. Hopefully within the week.
What's your name, please?
Gill.
I believe Mr. Gill does qualify for PTI, Your Honor.
State, what should be heard?
My apology.
Does he qualify, ma'am?
Did not.
Oh, you didn't?
Must have misread.
Okay, you charged a grand theft 3rd degree. I'm gonna set bond in this case in the amount of $1,000.
Good luck, Mr. Gill. Name, sir?
I couldn't hear you. What's your name, sir?
Dennis Martin, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Speaking to the mic, please.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Ask me the question.
Okay.
Okay. Well, they're saying cocaine now. Listen to the judge.
Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with offense of possession of cocaine, bond set at $1,000, possession of drug paraphernalia, bond set at $100. Thank you, sir.
I can't, how I'm gonna get out? I ain't got no money to get none of it.
Mr. Martin, your attorney will be in touch with you. Read this. You got public.
I can't read. I can't read at all.
Okay, well, your public defender will help you out. Someone can read this to you. Take that with you.